The late afternoon sun spilled through the windows of the small cafe, painting everything in soft, warm gold. I sat near the window, my fingers nervously stirring an iced coffee that had long since melted. My hands were trembling, not from the caffeine, but from the knot of anticipation tightening in my chest. It had been 2 years since I'd even considered going on a date. 2 years since my heart was shattered into a million tiny pieces. 2 years since I made a promise to myself, never again. But then, I met Mint. She wasn't like anyone I had ever known. She was calm, confident, with eyes that seemed to look right past the high, thick walls I'd built around myself. We met through a friend at a film club, and we bonded instantly, sharing late-night discussions about love, loneliness, and the portrayal of women in cinema. As time went on, I found myself drawn to her quiet strength. With her, I felt something I thought I'd lost forever. I felt safe. And today, we were on our first official date. The little bell on the cafe door chimed, and she walked in. She wore a simple white shirt tucked into high-waisted jeans, her hair tied back in a loose ponytail that framed her radiant smile. "Sorry I'm late," she said, her voice soft. "Traffic was awful." I looked up, and my heart did a little flip. "It's okay," I managed, trying my best not to just stare. We talked for hours. It felt so easy, like we'd known each other forever. We talked about movies, music, and the dreams we had as kids. Mint laughed at my shy, awkward jokes, and I found myself laughing to a real, genuine laugh that felt like releasing a breath I'd been holding for years. It was a beautiful, freeing feeling. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across our table, Mint leaned a little closer. "You know," she said, her voice quiet but firm, "you don't have to hide when you're with me." I blinked confused. "Hide?" A gentle smile touched her lips. "Your heart. I can see you're still guarding it, like you're afraid someone might try to take it." My gaze dropped to the glass in my hands, my fingers tightening around it. "It's been broken before," I whispered, the words barely audible. "I'm not sure it's ready to be open again." Mint reached across the table, her fingertips gently brushing against my hand. The contact was electric, yet comforting. "Then let's just sit here," she said. "No expectations. No promises. Just you and me, in this safe zone." The way she said it, so simple and full of warmth, made my chest ache in the best possible way. I nodded, a silent agreement passing between us. Our hands stayed touching, a light, tentative connection, as if we were testing the fragile boundaries of trust. Later, we found ourselves walking along the river. The city lights began to twinkle, their reflections dancing on the dark water. A soft breeze carried the sweet scent of jasmine through the air. I glanced over at Mint. She was gazing at the skyline with a look of quiet wonder on her face. "You really like sunsets, huh?" she asked, turning to me. "They make endings look beautiful," I replied, a hint of my old melancholy slipping through. Mint looked at me, her expression thoughtful. "Not every sunset means an ending," she said. "Sometimes it's just a pause before a new morning." Her words hit me, a perfect blend of poetry and truth. I felt my lips part, caught somewhere between a smile and tears. "You always say the right thing," she chuckled softly. "That's because I mean it." We stopped walking, and in that moment, the bustling city around us seemed to fade away. It was just the two of us, standing under the last vestiges of daylight. Mint stepped closer, her voice dropping to a near whisper. "Can I?" she began, leaving the question hanging in the air. My heart raced, but there was no fear, only a flutter of hope. I nodded. She leaned in, and our foreheads touched first, a gentle, grounding gesture that settled my racing pulse. Then slowly, Mint kissed me. It was soft, hesitant, and yet, it was full of meaning. This wasn't a kiss of fiery passion. It was tender, like a promise that love didn't always have to burn. It could be gentle. It could be safe. When we pulled apart, my eyes were glistening with unshed tears. "You make me feel safe," I said, the words coming straight from my newly opened heart. Mint's smile was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. "That's all I ever want," she replied. "To be your safe zone." For the first time in 2 long years, I felt the walls inside me begin to crumble, not with a crash, but gently, like sandcastles washed away by a calm tide. I realized that love didn't have to hurt. It could heal, too. We stood there for a long time, our hands entwined, watching the last trace of sunlight disappear into the horizon. We didn't need to say anything more. The silence was full of everything unspoken: hope, peace, and the fragile, breathtaking beauty of a new beginning. That night, as I lay in bed, replaying every moment, I could feel my heart beating softly, steadily. Mint's words echoed in my mind: no expectations, no promises, just us. Maybe love wasn't about choosing between safety and risk. Maybe, just maybe, it was about finding that one person who makes both feel possible. And for me, that someone was Mint, my last love, my forever safe zone. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content. See you next time.